And we're back with another one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to First Touch. Today is February 1st. Happy Black History Month. And of course, we got to introduce the crew. It's myself, Dazzler, Roll This, and TBates. Gentlemen, we're here for another episode. And before we even get into that, gentlemen, happy Black History Month. You look beautiful.
Look, I'm even wearing a shirt, you know what I'm saying, on my melanin people, you know what I'm saying, out there. Happy Black History Month, you know what I'm saying, representing correctly on this podcast, you know, every single day. What's up, T-Bates? How you doing over there?
Well, the first thing I'm going to do, just so you know, you're a little bit darker than most people. Well, you're not darker than me, but you do have a little bit of dark complexions. First thing I'm going to do is, for Black History Month, I'm going to go put in my own money, and I'm going to go send you a light. A light for your face, so you can add it to your bra, to your setup. Cause look, look, here's what I look like with no light. Wait, did it work? Like, look, see, look, there, I'm going. Look, then I can turn on that one. Boom. Oh, look, let me turn on this one. Boom. Oh my gosh, look, I have so much lighting now. Wait, do you see it? That's what lighting does. That's what lighting does. You don't have that. It's okay. There's no difference.
He has a light.
Also,
look.
I'm representing for all the black lawyers out there. I'm gonna be one of them one day. So yeah, does matter. Representation matters. And yeah, I'm really excited. So happy Black History Month, all my black people out there. Much really love you.
Facts. Big ups. And of course, we're gonna be talking about that all month long. So keep it locked in. That being said, we got a lot to talk about, especially from what happened in the last region. You can kind of see the topics there. Of course, if you guys have been keeping it in tune with us on Twitter, you know the guests today. We have CJCJ, Stumpy, Vodible, BassFromThePast. They'll be joining us a little bit later in the show to talk about CRL. You can see right now, you know, we're going to hit up those super teams. We're going to talk about Europe. We're going to talk about North America. But to kick it off, we got to introduce CJCJ and Stumpy. They're joining us right now. Let's bring those two in. Because these guys, look at them. They look beautiful.
Hello.
Oh, my God. You actually do. Look at that. Stumpy, you look great. CJ.
Thank you.
You look even better. How are we doing today?
Oh, well, why are you throwing shade immediately?
Complimented Stumpy and then insulted him straight afterwards. I respect that. Thank you. Hello,
I don't respect that at all. I feel hurt. I feel disparaged, and I feel immediately targeted.
Stumpy, your room is amazing. I just haven't seen it in so long.
Thank you. I normally have a green screen up that hides all of my fun stuff.
Green screen up? I know. The last time I think we saw you with your background was such a long time ago. So I mean, like, that's amazing.
Thanks, man. That means a lot.
I really love turtles.
Yeah, I do like. I like general ocean life, and Turtle's my favorite caster. So you know what? I thought I should get him involved.
Oh, that's good that he's your favorite caster. So, poor Cole, your duo, just absolutely.
I don't care for him.
Destroyed right there. And CJ, your background, clearly you don't care about it.
I'm moving. Things are happening. All right, let's look at Stumpy. Just focus on Stumpy. Looks really good.
Oh my God, we're going to spin the globe because we need to talk about what happened in the last European regional. As you see the V for victory, what is going on? Is Vitality back? I don't know. All I do know is they were absolutely balling. The question is, will history repeat itself? Vitality makes the grand final for the first time since 2021. That's 2 years ago. We didn't know if they would do it. Everybody's been talking about the Zen factor. I'm over at Roll This' house. We talking about job security while they playing. We don't know. Like we thinking Zen's sitting in the back with a little notepad trying to figure out. Okay, Redosa, you missed that area. Gotta write that down. Alpha, nice flip reset. Okay, you got that one. You get some points. Oh, but you missed that area, so I gotta take that off. Like we're trying to figure out. There's a lot of stuff going on. But as we roll the highlights, I do want to throw this one to Stumpy because
that's his team right there.
Yeah. You know,
or his former team. He hasn't talked about him lately.
Vitality looks good. Talk about him right now.
I'm so happy that we're just seeing, even if like just you ignore the players and you ignore, you know, what we've seen Alpha somehow manage to do and bring himself, you know, back up to that spot with teammates that are actually good alongside him. It is just nice and it feels warm in my heart seeing Vitality good again in a grand final. I do not care that they lost. They put forward a phenomenal regional. It was just good, man. Alpha being sick again, because you know there were a lot of people that doubted him and that he did not have his chance to show off how good he is. But look at that! Like, how is that even fair? And then when they won versus Oxygen,
1v3,
like his reaction. he just did a little fist pump. He was like, yes, did it. And then he got tackled to the floor by his mates. I was like, he loved what he was doing. It's so good. The vibes there just look awesome.
I mean, we've seen Alpha do this before, but I haven't seen my boy Redosin play like this before. It was absolutely incredible gameplay. And obviously Alpha, he was good TBates probably, a year and a half ago. I'd definitely not say 5 months ago, but we might talk about that later.
We'll get into that later.
No, it was great to see Vitality. They popped off and just not quite, I feel like Carmine, they're a different level once you get to the grand final, aren't they? So it's a different beast.
That's a nasty double touch by Redosin. They actually double committed on that play. I thought they lost. They're a little off.
Oh, that play.
Look at the fist pump. There it is, Stumpy.
Yeah, I love that. It's like, yes, thank God we didn't. Because also, they were 3-1 up and it went to Game 7 overtime. So, like, no wonder he was like, oh my God, we actually won. Jesus Christ, right. Grand finals, happy days. And they're all on the floor. I just like seeing Farah smile. Like, just seeing Farah smile is just nice. It's just a good thing to see. He's so lovely. It made me so happy to see them back in that grand final. They fully deserve it. The grinding done by all of them. And I don't want to take anything away either from Redosin and Sizen either, because my word, who do you even choose to, like, leave that team?
Stumpy, I've got a theory. I'm not sure if you've heard it.
Okay.
Well, I've been digging to find the script. What's going on this Vitality 4-man roster? Who is Zen going to come in for? So I went digging. I went looking internally. Actually, not internally, but I went looking internally at the Vitality operation. Put the glasses on, Daz. And I thought, let me stare at this roster. Let me look at their names. Sizen, Sai, Zen. He's got Zen in his name. What's happening here? Light bulb moment. I Google what Sai means. It means a dagger with 2 prongs. Dagger, Zen, Sizen's getting stabbed in the back by Zen. It's all there.
Oh my God. Oh my
God. I thought it was super simple. I thought we were just deleting 3 letters and then Zen was just plugging right in. This man looked up the definition of Sai.
Wow. That makes so much sense. How did we not see this before?
I mean, I think he's aware of it too, because if you saw that last clip where T-Bates was talking about the double commit, it was Sizen that had the double commit. Now, Alpha 54, he went up in the air. He had 84 boosts. So why is Sizen jumping for that? It's because he wanted to be a part of the moment. He knew that drive, they were going to score on that. He knew Redosin was going to slot the shot, so he said, let me get involved. I was talking to Roldiz. He was trying to get part of the replay. Sizen, we see exactly what you're doing. Because I will say, though, stats-wise, Sizen was not the best of Vitality. He might have actually been the worst at this event. So, and, I'm gonna just go into this next part, because the question is, what should the Bees do about Zen? Because even though Vitality make this final, Stumpy, even though they're all happy, oh my God, we're doing so good. Everybody's still talking about that man. And when it's time for him to play, what is going to happen? That's the question right now.
I think we're going to see the 90th French Civil War take place, because there has just been so many people fighting on the side of Zen. Just get him in that main roster. It's going to come eventually, guys. Don't worry. I feel it's right. we can rule some people out here. If they're not replacing Alpha. Obviously, they're not replacing Alpha. That's locked in. He's on that team. We're all agreed there, I assume, right? He's just on. Like, he's not going. After this regional, Redosin, I think, he's turned the key on the lock. He's starting to lock himself in. And Sizen has a little bit, but his key is stuck. His key's just a little bit stuck. He can't quite turn it as much as Redosin has. But those two are clearly the ones that are in the firing line. I'd lean towards Sizen, but it's still only being one event. It's still only one event. You can't take a huge amount from this, because Redosin might just drop off from here. I found he can't make that decision. Like, when is Zen actually eligible? When's his first regional he can play?
In the spring.
Yeah.
Spring.
Yeah.
Okay. So they got 3 more events-ish if it's sometime in the spring, 2 minimum. I think Sizen's the one, right?
I mean, we were just talking about deleting his 3 letters and the backstabbing and all that. I'm going to go and say that the previous split, Redosin was already locking that key. He was already looking like he was ramping up. And this tournament just kind of solidified it. I think Redosin was honestly the most solid player the entire tournament on that team. I think he was Alpha had his pop-off moments like Alpha's gonna get. Alpha's gonna get his. But Verdosen, that man was he didn't make a mistake. Like, he was the most solid player on Vitality, in my opinion, watching this regional. And Sizen was trying to get involved. I mean, he was doing what he needed to do in order to get the team to the finals, but then you have Zen sitting on the bench. Like, Zen is just like looking for that weak spot on the team. Let me plug it in, make the team a little bit stronger, then we're gonna be undefeated and dominate the EU region.
Can I ask a big question? That
No.
I feel not many people have, like, maybe some people have like asked it, but is Zen that good? Like, is he that good? Like, I'm not saying I doubt him, but to replace someone just straight up and just say, yes, you're in, that is gigantic. And Vitality have locked him in early. Is it just going to work? Will it just be better? Because that's the risk they're taking ultimately. Like,
even if Vitality, you know, they just got a second place, to just say, righto, we're all good, Zen, you can go somewhere else, would be crazy.
I agree.
He's the future of Europe, so I think you've got to look long term. He has to come in.
I didn't know why Raul reacted like that.
Because, man, I have so many people calling Zen the next greatest thing that ever touched this game, and he hasn't played a single game in RLCS. He just wins these French tournaments, which is great, because France is a region by itself. Like, France is dominating Europe, so that's great and all, but he has not played on the main stage. I have not seen a singular game other than twos from this kid. I get he's amazing in twos. He hard carries his teammates and everything. But it takes more than just the individual skill to be the best in this game. So I want to see him play on an actual RCS stage before I can say, all right, he's the future of Europe. He's the future of Rocket League. Like, the people are just putting him on this pedestal, which is creating extreme expectations for this kid to match. But, I mean, like, if he's as good as he is, like, it's something like Daniel. Daniel came in, he had extreme expectations. He kind of proved them. I think people want to see Daniel win something, but Daniel is a top 3 player in North America. So if Zen could do the same thing, then, I mean, it is what it is.
I think we all want Zen to succeed, obviously. Like, it's so fun if he just comes in, smashes it, you know, actually wins events. Like, that would be amazing. I'd absolutely adore that. But I've always got those question marks. I've always got the thoughts of, will that pressure just be too much? Because, my God, he's young. Like, obviously, he can't play yet. Yeah. He's so young. That pressure's horrible. It's so horrible. Like, and I hope that he absolutely smashes this. But yeah, I can't help but have that feeling in my head of, ooh, like, ooh, is he? But I don't know.
Raul, somebody joined you on the show with that can just match your terrible takes that you have.
Terrible takes.
What?
Rebuttal.
What? Okay, the rebuttal is simple. You can look at history. Out of all the prodigies that are hyped up before they get into the league, which one has not panned out?
Wow.
So let's go. Scrub, hyped up, dominated everything.
Smashed it.
Smashed immediately. Domination. His team didn't do that good the first season with passion, but he was great. And then he won the world championship his second year. Who's the next one? That first killer. He's on your team. You hype him every single time. Shiv's got him ranked number 2 somehow, even though that made absolutely no sense.
No, he is number 2.
He was great.
He's number 2.
That was a pretty big move. That was a big move.
He's number 2.
That was first killer. That was the second big prodigy. Well, I guess the first one above everybody else would be Justin. But for Justin and Scrub. Justin panned out as well. So let me go to number 4. I guess you're kind of Justin. Number 4 would be Daniel. What's Daniel done? Domination. Daniel's skill has been...
Okay, but it gets
Daniel's team...
How much has he won?
Daniel's team hasn't... Okay, bro, it's a team.
Yeah, this
team to win.
Yep,
Daniel
that's the balance.
as an individual has been absolutely phenomenal. The moment he came on, his first ever series, first ever tournament, made it all the way to the grand final, and he was sinking every single clutch shot, answered all everybody's questions. Oh, he's too young. Oh, he can't do this. Oh, he can't do that. Well, he's him. He handled business. And now you got Zen coming up as well. So I'm 4 for 4 right now. 4 for 4 on the prodigies, the quote unquote prodigies, the people who are hyped up to that such a high standard. Not a single one of them has ever underperformed. They all come and at least meet their expectations, if not exceed their expectations. So just looking at that, Zen's that guy. Who's the name? Who's the name that's a prodigy?
Evo. Aqua.
Evo is not a prodigy.
I think it's different
I
level.
love Evo.
Aqua.
I think Aqua's like overshadowed by Daniel. They came up together.
Wasn't
Daniel
a
was
prodigy
like,
either.
What do you mean? What
People get
were-
no.
Okay,
no,
another
no.
one that I've seen again in the Discord. Drees. He did well.
Drees,
He smashed it.
Drees, a prodigy.
He was doing well.
No,
Yeah, yes.
No, he was
yes.
doing okay. First off, when Drees got onto G2, people forget Drees only got that spot because Rizzo retired, and then they needed to pick up somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Drees was a player out there who they saw a little bit of potential in that could be a solid pro. Drees
Okay,
is
circle
not
back
hyped
to
up
Aqua
like
and
Daniel.
Evo then.
Okay,
Circle back to them.
Aqua's hype was directly correlated to the fact that Daniel was so good,
Mm-hmm.
and then Aqua also had some flashy mechanics, and he would play with Garrett and the like in 2s and 3s and ranks. So people would gas up Aqua, say Aqua's pretty good. Aqua do it. Aqua along the inner circles of the pros and all that type of stuff, the talent, all that. Everybody knew Daniel's that guy. Aqua, we all know he'd be really good. He'd be solid, but he's not a prodigy.
He was
Rocky.
so hyped up. You say that he wasn't hyped up as much as like Daniel.
He was hyped, but he wasn't Daniel. He wasn't Scrub. He wasn't Justin. These
because
are dudes that automatically go to the best
because he
teams in the
didn't do
game.
as well. Because he didn't do as well, and that disproves your argument of prodigies always perform well. I provided two, and you just say no. That's not how this works.
What team did Aqua go to? What team's Aqua on?
Oh, Christ knows nowadays, mate. Not
Koi?
ones that are making
He's on
regionals.
Koi. Exactly. If Aqua was as hyped up as you think he is, he would automatically go to an NRG. He would have gone to a G2. Those type of players go. They go to the best teams in the game immediately.
Because you said that it's about a team game. You said that then he's got his great individuality, which Aqua does, which Aqua has that individuality that he was hyped up for so massively. And then he's just not done well.
But he wasn't as hyped up as Daniel. Everybody knew he wasn't as good
Why
as Daniel.
Why does Daniel have to be the benchmark? He was the most hyped up NA player ever.
Yeah,
Daniel?
relative to the year, I would say Justin was like they're all gonna keep getting
Yeah, I
more
think
hyped up because the
Justin,
game gets
FK
bigger.
were, like,
game gets bigger. Like 2018, 2018 hype up, 2017 hype up to Justin. Like that might be even like higher relatively speaking to the year.
I disagree with that because Justin had chance to prove himself in the RLCS, obviously RLRS, but like in that kind of area, that level, and you could see how he was doing.
And
Aqua,
Zen's doing in the
Daniel,
French
Evo,
leagues.
they weren't able to prove themselves as much. And then you say about First Killer, he then went to Rogue, and he then carried Rogue, did a brilliant job, right?
Not initially.
Okay, but he still ended up and made Rogue his team. He then kicked out people. He then got new people
he's
in.
first GM. He's been doing this at the moment he got in the league.
Yeah, big man first killer. I love that for him, right? Aqua, he is on a team and he's underperforming along with Evo. And the fact that they haven't been able, either of them haven't been able to break through, as you have seen Daniel do, as you've seen First Killer do, that proves that these prodigies don't always do well. That's my point.
Evo's not a prodigy. I love Evo,
Yes,
but
he
I wouldn't say
was.
Evo's a prodigy. Evo's a really good upcoming talent. He's a prospect. And like I don't know how y'all, because y'all do college, well y'all do university, so y'all don't like recruit like we do. CJ, I'm gonna let you get in. I see you got some. I don't know how, but like for us, we have like 5-star talent, 4-star talent, all that type of stuff. Daniel's a 5-star. He's like a Zion Williamson. For those my people who watch basketball, he's a perfect. He's a perfect. He's a perfect.
1 year out the other.
Okay, so it wasn't direct towards you. It was direct towards people in chat who
That's
might know a
fine.
little about college
Funny
basketball.
though.
He is a perfect recruit. He's gonna have a 1.000 on the benchmark. Aqua's gonna be Aqua's gonna be either a lower tier 5-star or he's gonna be a 4-star, upper high tier 4-star. He's not gonna be the number 1 5-star. Same thing as First Killer Justin. Those like there's levels to this. When people
But why do you have to be the number 1 when you bear in mind say that Aqua and Evo were coming up alongside Daniel?
When you
who
say
is
prodigy,
the number 1?
everybody, people throw around the word prodigy too much. Prodigy is somebody who is a savant. They are different. That doesn't happen. That's what makes them a prodigy, because they're so rare. LeBron James is a prodigy at basketball. That's not gonna happen. It just doesn't happen. So like you get a prodigies like once every in Rock League, since it's newer, you get that like maybe once every year, 2 times, maybe 2 people a year. Like that's not gonna be a lot of people that come up in a game and they're like, that guy's that guy. And so Aqua isn't him like that, but Aqua's a great player. You can't just throw around the word prodigy. CJ, hop in.
I think getting back to Zen, getting a little bit away from Aqua and the boys, I don't think anyone's been hyped up like this. Feels scrub killer level of hype.
Exactly.
At least from the players. Like if we're just gonna look at EU, this is massive. Yeah, I think no one's been hyped up like this since Scrub came along, where it's like this kid is just different. He's going to take over. You listen to Abjack talk about him. Like, is he going to take over? He said, "Yep, absolutely." Have you seen him? So I think at least from the fellow pros, I don't think a player's been hyped up like this since like a scrub killer. Maybe Justin, but that was the RLRS. That was a little bit different. So
yeah,
this is crazy.
Yeah, and this makes me want to pose a question, as specifically to you, TBates, since you're saying this kid, he's about to be the next best thing, right? What are the expectations for him when you have a team that just hit the finals and have looking like they've been improving consistently over the last month or two? Vitality looks like a completely different roster with this new iteration. When you input Zen into this team with Alpha already on the roster, who wants the ball, Zen is going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy. And when you have Alpha and Zen on the team clashing, you're leaving Verdocin in the spot that Sizen's in right now. So how is this roster going to improve? What's the expectations? They just got the grand finals, and they're looking like they're going to be a major team to split. Are they winning everything? When the Zen hits, they have to win everything.
No, they haven't won anything yet. So I think the first step would be to win something. That would be expectation. When you make a roster change and you're adding somebody of that talent, you're going from, okay, we can maybe hit our stride like they did this past weekend. Like our peak is we can make the grand final. And then maybe we're really on and like Carmine's off, we can win it. You go from that to then saying, okay, we're going to be a top 2, top 3 team going to the tournament. Our expectations are to win. That's the distinction. And you don't just immediately expect people to start winning off rip. Like, is he going to be in a great situation?
I do. He should be winning immediately with the team that they have right now. You got Alpha. Wait, hold on. Because we're going to get to this discussion later. But you already got Alpha top 6. And if this kid is supposed to be a prodigy, with Verdocin already being as consistent as he is, they should win.
Verdocin's not consistent. Let's pause.
Are you serious?
Let's pump the brakes.
No, okay, listen. We just talked about how you don't even watch the game. So
I do even know.
No, he was getting pre-jump saves.
Whoa.
Nice
No, Verdocin's question.
Go back. Watch the tape. I need you to go back and watch him play.
Verdocin's a little questionable on defense. He would pop off on offense with a couple doubles, and on defense, Verdocin. I'm like, what's going on?
Oh, boy.
What's going on?
Nah, bro. See, this is how I know you haven't been watching since the 5 months ago when you put Alpha
against
top
Oxygen
6.
were crazy.
Dude, you can't just say one game. Of course, he played a
One
good
game, the whole tournament, Bates.
The whole tournament, he was not consistent.
I casted that game. That series rather. I casted the Vitality Oxygen, and there was so many moments where I was so close to saying, Oxygen have just scored that or whatever, but probably a lot better because I'm a professional. And then Verdocin just was there.
Look,
and then go back and watch. Look at the scoreboards. Look at the scoreboards.
Look
how many saves Alpha got.
Oh my gosh, bro. Here you go back to look.
Verdocin averaged more saves per game than Alpha.
During the series?
This tournament.
I'm talking about during the Oxygen series. We're talking about Oxygen series.
Why are we talking about a singular series? I said he's more consistent.
CJ, go ahead, man.
But back to whether if they're going to get top.
Now you running away.
Okay.
Just quickly. The question was, if Zen comes in, like, what are we expecting? And I think they'd be happy just top 5. Like, you just want to make the major.
Yeah.
And I think you're guaranteeing, not guaranteeing, but I think they're pretty much locked for top 5 with Zen coming in.
Okay, I'm gonna come in here because this is all I've been trying to say this entire time. So initially, the thing for Vitality is they made top 4 in fall, and then they missed a major. So the question is, can they continue? Can they keep that consistency up? Especially knowing that this is probably the most pressure they're going to have this season, just playing in these regional events.
They look so good that first read. It's hard to bet against them, but you look at other teams like Moist who aren't really playing that well. You think just there's so many teams below them that are going to improve. So I don't know. Johnny Boy was sort of saying that he feels they're locked now. It is a top 2. What results do you need these next 2 regionals to lock in a major after getting second?
I think the points was around 22 that you're looking at, to get through. It was like 22 or 23, I believe. Derek's going to correct me, but it's around there. So they've currently got 16 after the Winter Open, after coming second.
This makes sense. Okay.
So they need a top 2 more top 8s would do them well.
Yeah, I think a top 8 will get.
A top 8 would then push them to 24, I believe.
Yeah,
in the fall it was 30. Well, I mean, Quadrant had 30, but then G1 had 19. So that
I
was
suppose
5,
also
6.
there's more points this time round. So I think it was 20
yeah.
last time, and it's
I don't understand
24-ish
this.
this time.
There's
I think it's
more
24.
points, but you don't get the extra bonus point for first place. So every top 8, every ranking past the top 8, top 4, top 2 is just 4-point gaps. So that'll help them as well, because it won't be like they'll lose out from a team that wins a regional, because they might have.
I think they're also going to do well by the fact that Quadrant didn't. They're currently one of the top 5 teams. Quadrant did not do well this time round. They got 5 points. Moist and Liquid again to second and fourth. They have currently got 8 points. The fact they've already got double that. If they just get at least what they're looking at, Liquid and Moist got another top 8. That's a really good spot for them. Like that's
so making the major
spot for
is
them.
doable. It seems like making the major
Big
should
time.
be almost guaranteed for this Vitality team if they're playing anywhere near what they played on the last weekend. Is that enough though? Do we need a strong performance at the major as well?
Why? No.
We just need to wait for Zen.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Just
It
hold
doesn't
the
matter
fort.
what this team does. You're not judging this team.
I think
This team isn't a team. This team is a like.
And this
like
so this
Size
team
and
can't be a
Radosin
team
are-
either.
I think you're judging
Si-
2/3 of the team. Are you not?
Yeah, no, Size and Radosin are playing to show that people that they can ball.
This is their CV for whoever gets
exactly,
kicked.
Yeah, exactly. So like they're playing to impress other people, but you're not judging Vitality right now because they're gonna play with Zen. That's the Vitality we need to be looking at. That's the Vitality. Like you want this Vitality team to do well, to put the team with Zen in position to make the world championship. So whatever that is, that's the gauge, that's the metric we should.
But then
look
surely then I guess you're not looking at Vitality as this trio, but you're looking at them to set the bed for then Zen to come in and then get
so
those
then they can
points.
make a push. Correct.
I think
Keeping
you
the
can
top
make good
5.
assumptions about 2/3 of the team based on how they do at the major. You just can't necessarily, obviously, say how Zen would do at that major because he's not going to be there. But I think it's still a good idea of how Alpha's going to be, after time not being at majors, how Radosin's going to perform at majors too. Like this is, bear in mind, that was Radosin's first grand finals in the RLCS. He is still so green to all of this. He needs to build up those experiences. And if getting him to the major, then say, for example, they get to the winter one, they do fine. But then Radosin's then got that locked in. That at least gives an amount of security for him mentally that, hey, we can do this. And theoretically, we're coming in with a better player next time. So that should help him out. But obviously, then there's the whole thing of, does it matter if you're a LAN regular or not, etc. But yeah, I think it's good if they do well, purely for the confidence of 2/3 of the team.
I've got an idea. Vitality, they're a content org. What happens if before the third split, Radosin and Sizen 1v1 pink slip for the third spot? Imagine how many viewers that'd get.
That'd be fun. That's content. That's good, that.
But then they just give it automatically to Radosin. So Sizen. Like, good luck, Sizen.
Yeah, it wouldn't mean anything because they're not throwing away the world championship contending opportunities. They could win the world championship this year with Zen. They could. That's
Vitality
real,
are
that's
That is an
sitting at
unbelievable
That's
6
reality.
claim.
That's not an unbelievable statement. You know why? Because on the next segment, we're gonna be talking about we're gonna talk about that madman that they already got on the roster. They already got a madman who's one of the best in the game.
Okay, let's talk about this. So Vitality are sitting at 6 in the European rankings. One of the players on Vitality is sitting 6 in TBates' list, specifically.
Good link, Matt. Really good link, that, Dev. Love that.
So let's look at this top 25 list from TBates. I think we have a graphic. We do. He is right there under First Killer and over Beast Mode.
This is, all right, let me put some perspective on this. This is a list from August 2022, where myself, CJ, Johnny, Roldes, and then big old Yummy Cheese Man, we ranked the top 25 players currently in the world at that time. And as you can see, I am the only person on this list that is Al 54 on there. Everybody else, Al 54 is nowhere to be found, which made no sense.
Well, I think if there's an outlier teammates, it means that yours probably doesn't make sense.
Oh, well, CJ, you can say that.
Like
But
you
I
said,
don't
it was
agree.
5 months ago, and it was at that time.
Exactly, and Alpha was still that guy. Anything, he might be higher now. But yeah, I just want to put that in perspective.
This is like the old guy yelling in the corner about the good old days at that point. Like 5 months ago, Alpha 54 was nowhere to be seen. He wasn't performing well. I don't want to say he's the worst player. He was letting the team down. He wasn't playing to the Alpha 54 that we're seeing today. And that's why he was nowhere near the top 25 in the world. And you put him 6, and now you're carrying on after one regional 5 months later saying, look how smart I was. It doesn't make sense. This is the current top 25. It still doesn't make sense. Even if you put Alpha 54 top 6 5 months ago, and he was top 6 back then, you still can't bring back a list from 5 months ago claiming that you put him 6 because it's from 5 months ago. It's not predicting who's going to be the top 6.
It wasn't predicting.
The top
it was
6
current.
right now.
Exactly, and Alpha 54 is one of them. Thank you, CJ. It's the top. It was the top 6 right then, and Alpha 54 was there. Did you see K-Dop on this list? Where's K-Dop? He can't arrow. Did you see Fairy Peak? Did he retire yet? No, he didn't yet. That's who he was playing with. He was playing with people that couldn't ball. How do you expect him to perform? You can't play with people that get the ball.
In fairness to TBates, I'd like to support him here because look. Realistically, Alpha's results were fantastic. He got 9th to 12th, like 3 times. He got 12th to 14th. That's brilliant. That's so good. He then won an open qualifier. Do you know how hard that is to do, to win an RLCS open qualifier? That is a top 6 man in my books. After the open qualifier, he went 6th to 8th. Okay,
the cameras back
that
to us.
matters. 3rd to 4th in full Cup 2. Outstanding. Then 5th to 8th. He deserves top 6. TBates, you've got me in. The dark blue all over his result sheet. That speaks wonders. That speaks everything.
No, the problem with this, T-Bates, is you're trying to put words in the rest of the 4 rankings, right? You're trying to put words in our mouth here, saying that we don't think Alpha could be top 6. We knew that he could be top 6. He was top 3 in Europe for so long. Everyone was always putting him there, top 10 in the world. But at that point, he wasn't. So don't try and act like you're some,
Okay.
You got this philosophy and all this stuff about him because he just wasn't top. He was nowhere near the top 6 back then. So don't pull up the 5-month-old list because it was wrong back then and it's still wrong now because it's 5 months ago.
CJ, you can try to get all animated. Your eyes can get wide. I understand it's early for you. You ain't had a cup of Joe, but it's not gonna change the fact that you're wrong. Here's why. Here's why. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. Let's break it down real slow. So let's set the parameters for this. So when we're judging individual players, how much does team accomplishment how much does team accomplishment factor into an individual player list?
Here we go, Shift. This is a question for them.
So we got to set these parameters down because in my way of gauging is significantly different from y'all. I don't think K-Dop and Fairy Peak were good the whole entire year of 2022. So how am I supposed to hold that against Alpha when they aren't good?
Alpha wasn't playing well either. Were you watching?
Okay, I'm okay. And listen, Alpha wasn't up to his usual standard of being a top 3, like bona fide top 3, right?
So would you say that Alpha wasn't probably top 6 in the ranking, in the world at that point in time?
No.
When we did it,
he wasn't playing up to his usual standard of being the best of the best.
Wait, okay, real quick.
That's kind of it's crazy. That's kind of like
real quick. Alpha in the chat. Alpha in the chat said, "I've been top 3 in Europe for 3 years. Give me time. I'll get back."
Alpha, you're still there.
Back. Yeah,
you're still there.
Thank you,
Alpha. No. He's talking to you. He already knows. He knows he's still there. Listen. CJ, because he wasn't up to his top 3 standard on the pitch because of his 2 teammates sucked.
Look what he said in chat.
What'd he say?
He said I was trash last year. And that's exactly when you put him top 6. That is the worst ranking ever. And the man himself has admitted it. That's
he's just being humble. That's all he is. He's just being humble. He doesn't want the bad publicity. I respect him, but he knows
I feel like
down.
the best way to be humble and to be humbled is to get 9th to 12th like 5 times in a row. Like that's the position that he was in. He was not doing well. He was not a top 6 player.
Listen,
metric.
I understand. If I load him into a lobby with Dazzler and Stumpy, it doesn't matter what my MMR is. I'm just not winning. And that's what you got to take into account.
First of all,
like if my teammates aren't up to par, I can't win. It's just that simple. I need teammates that are adequate. And the moment Alpha 54 gets adequate teammates, you see what that young man's doing. My God. And that's why he's top 6 because you can't because people on that list, when you're ranking an individual player list, it's about if I have that guy and I put that guy alongside two competent teammates, what is that guy gonna do? And you saw it this past weekend. That guy was balling the whole entire time, and
He
that's
was
why
so
he's top
good this
6 player.
weekend.
Exactly.
He was outstanding this weekend.
He was
outstanding.
outstanding. He was outstanding in the fall split. He's been outstanding since he's had his new team. And once he adds into the mixture, my goodness, at that point, you might as well just
Okay,
say,
well,
"I'm
Alpha
doing
said-
that."
We're not arguing that at
Alpha-
all. We're talking
wait.
about 5 months ago. You did a list that was wrong, and Alpha said it was wrong, and that's it.
Before
Like, you just
before
have
the
to
full
admit
split
you're
ever
wrong.
happened as well.
Yeah.
He said in chat, "I grind the game now. I will make Bates proud."
That's right.
And,
No,
and-
That's right.
he's not. He's not.
No, yeah, we're not disregarding the fact that you're trying to
argue.
argue that 5 months ago you put him top 6 when he wasn't, and he even admitted he wasn't playing to the level he's playing now.
Well,
He
you
might
see,
be. It would be reasonable for you to put him top 6 right now, but back
Well, how
5
is it
months
reasonable?
ago
Time
it
out.
wasn't that.
See, now we got to put it in more perspective. Because there's 25 names on that list. So there's
Right.
absolutely no way after one regional, this man's going to jump from being not in
But
anybody
teammates-
else's list but mine to 6.
But
That's
teammates,
not
didn't he do
possible.
pretty well in the full split? I thought you said.
Well, listen, I guarantee you, if we did that, they still wouldn't have Alpha in the top 25. I know these people on that show. There's 2 of them right there. One of them smirking underneath me. He's not putting Alpha in there, and this guy's a hater. You know he ain't putting him there. He's gonna put his whole team there somehow. First killer's gonna be number 1, even though he can't win. So no, it didn't matter what he
Okay,
did in the
so-
fall.
so, wait,
Until he
so-
wins.
So
It wouldn't matter.
so for first killer he has to win, but for alpha he doesn't. That's
Well,
what you
first
just said right now.
No, that's not what I said at all.
No. You literally just said
Look at
FK
him.
has no, he
He
can't
got
win,
him.
but he's up
He
there.
got him.
And then Alpha's top 6 and has been placing 9th through 12th.
No, what I said was you're gonna put first killer number 1, even though he hasn't won anything. See, I'm not that blasphemous. I'm not gonna put Alpha
Did
number
I
one. I'm not that
put? When's the last time I put FK 1?
I don't know. Probably yesterday. Probably yesterday, to be honest.
My goodness, bro. Look, they're deflecting over and
just
over
say
again,
this
bro.
all
Over yesterday. I don't know what was going on yesterday, but he put him in one there.
I mean, you like should put him in number 2, so we know he's bona fide minimum 2 for you. So there you go. They answered
He
the
is
question
too,
right
bro.
there.
Look at the stats.
Alpha top 6
Look
player.
at the stats. You
CJ,
love looking at the stats because you don't watch the
CJ.
games.
That list is nonsense.
You are an
All right.
old man yelling at a cloud. That is your methodology for
Listen,
ranking is just crazy. It doesn't.
we gotta
make
move
any
on, man.
sense.
We're only on 1
Yeah.
second.
Hashtag base
I know.
never wrong. Take out the never. Let's move on to the next topic.
gotta
The
speed run
EU
this one.
Open. So Carmine Court made first 4th finals appearance. Vatir states that he is the best player in the world. Let's take a look at the EU group stage.
It's just he's shaking his head,
No,
bro.
no,
That's
no.
the biggest nod in the world.
Chris, we need that. We need that one on Twitter.
we need to clip that. As you can see, K Corp did lose out to Vitality in the group. This was the groups. I think this went, I'd probably say sort of kind of as predicted, except for BDS being in that 3rd place spot. But let's take a look at the bracket. Wow. Round 1. Oh, I didn't know Moist swept BDS. Oh, snap.
Yeah, they did very well.
Okay, they swept them, but I mean, they only won 1 goal games. Let's keep that in context. Put that in
Okay,
perspective.
good context. Good context.
Thank you.
He still lost.
Oxygen at the bye. Quadrant. It's not a good start for the cannon.
I love the cannon. I don't like the way you said that. I laughed. I love the cannon. It made me look bad. I'm so sorry. I
mean, I
was
love
laughing
him
at
too.
Damar. I was laughing at Damar, bro. I'm not laughing at the cannon. I love
Yeah,
the
It feels
no,
bad.
The
It feels
cannon
bad
is
seeing them
trying to
go out
just
so early.
lift those boys through the trenches, but I don't know. I don't think this splits their split quadrant. I think the
Yeah.
cannon might be put away for a split.
On the other side, oh goodness,
It's just, oh no.
they're putting the cannon back in the arsenal. Anyway, German Amigo. So I found that out on Saturday. EG dropped their team before even going into the event, and then boom, they said, you know what? Let's just take that and use that as motivation. They got all the way to the semifinals. Said, yeah, I bet you wish you had us now. And then they lost
They
to
beat my
K-Corp.
boys.
Look
They
at
beat my
K-Corp.
boys on the
Look
way.
at that playoff Sunday for K-Corp. Just dropping 2 games. Well, actually, only dropping, I guess, 1 game because Sunday was just
Yeah,
the
one on
semis and the
Sunday, yeah.
finals. So,
Yeah.
I mean, they are just a playoff team. I think the most surprising thing, I guess, we didn't talk about in the groups was Vitality winning Group A. I mean, K-Corp dropping that series and then getting them again in the rematch grand final, and they smacked them in the grand final. It wasn't really close. K-Corp, I think they're just different online, at least. I think we can agree online K-Corp is near untouchable right now.
They look like it. What is that? Is that 4 for 4 in the grand final so far this year?
No, they went. They've got 4 in a row, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they've been to the grand finals each time.
Oh yes, yeah. They did all 3 during the
Cool.
They did the major, right? No, sorry, they didn't. Sorry, they did all 3 during fall, and then this one in the winter.
Was
Look at the
BDS the last
points
team that do that?
No, Derek told us it was moist.
Moist
/ queso. BDS never got 4 in a row.
What? Even in RLCSX?
Yeah, they didn't get they never won all 3 regionals in one, or didn't get to the grand final in all 3 regionals.
Wow.
In any split, which is weird, right? They just always dropped it for one of them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, it was Queso Moist. They've tied them now 4 in a row, and they've won 2 of them.
And Vatira's been on both of those squads.
Yeah, buddy.
So
Because he is the
K-Corp,
best player.
K-Corp
the
have
world.
gone they lost a final, then they won a final, then they lost a final, now they've won a final. So I'm not all about scripts and runs, but I think next regional they're coming second.
Okay.
You better predict that, CJ. When you're on that desk, you better predict KC don't win it.
Absolutely. I don't think they're winning it. They're coming second. You just gotta look. Look at history.
They're doing good online. They gotta get that land final though. No land final this year yet.
Oh well, man, they've only played one, so give them a little bit of time.
That is absolutely right.
Yeah,
but
I
they're
think
on
Itachi even
track.
talked about it in his interview. He said that they will be ready for it this time.
They weren't ready for it last time. What does that mean?
That it was the first land as a team. They just
Oh,
weren't prepped.
okay.
That's his words, not mine, bro.
Okay, those
No,
aren't
that's
good words
facts.
to say. That means you just don't care about winning or something like that. I don't know. You would assume you'd be prepared the first time. You say you
Maybe they were nervous.
They were just
you know,
nervous, man.
You got,
Like,
the,
it happened.
you got the org CEO sitting right there across from you. You got the drums and everything. You know, probably scared him a little bit. I don't know.
I guess.
I'm just making up excuses. I don't know.
I know. Yeah,
Well,
I don't
no-
get no excuses. You all got land experience. Handle your business. Oh, we skipped over a little bit, but Vatira say he's the best in the world. Thoughts?
Right.
I say yes.
Yeah, obviously.
Easy.
Just
Okay.
yes, just is.
Wait, better than first killer role?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just need to make sure that was out there.
I feel like the heat that would go rolled this his way if he said no just then. It would have been unbearable.
It sounded like Roldis was your son. Like, yeah, you got that? You agree?
You got that material, yeah?
Good.
But like, I think that one thing that I really did like about his interview that he had with Subi, which was I love that he did an interview as well. Anybody who goes for who doesn't do that often then does them, especially after that kind of situation, I adore it, and it's absolutely brilliant. The fact that then he was saying, he was like, "Are you the best player in the world?" And he's like, "Well, I'm not going to say that because people think I've got an ego." But look at the numbers. Just look at my results. Because you can't argue with it. I've not seen a single person actually even say, no, Vatira isn't the best player in the world. For the last year at least, he just is. And the run of form that he had on 2 teams, the determination that he's got, he's terrifying.
Yep.
He's so scary. He wants it, and so much more, I feel, than so many other people that are competing at his level, that he is doing anything that he can to lift more major trophies. He had the greatest year of his career last year, and he's just getting started. It's so fun, and I think he's a wonderful competitor.
Yeah, it's how he responds from losing. I think is sort of different than any other player. Like it's not even when they're playing at the best when he's at their top. It's just when you see them lose and he's distraught after losing a final. I'd be so happy to get to a final and lose, but he's just got that killer mentality. So yeah, he's different. He's the best.
There's levels to it. I'm not gonna sit here and be delusional and claim like 5 months ago my ranking and whatever you do, TBates. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna like the facts are the facts. The facts are the facts. Vatira is the best player in the world. The results prove it. He goes to a different team, same results. It actually might even be better now. Like he might go for the next year and be in the finals every single tournament the way that they're looking so far. So I can't disagree. Like he goes onto the field, shows his skill, and his team's always winning. So here's what it is.
Big shout out to Direct, by the way. A couple things. He said, these stats don't lie, CJ. And then he also said, I think that Vatira said either Vatira or Itachi said this a couple minutes ago, the extra pressure from the KC fans were a surprise to the team. So Fans actually did have an impact there, which is, take it for what it is. But yeah, let's shift the topic here though to our defending reigning world champions team BDS, who are now playing in the close qualifiers.
Don't like that sentence. Don't like that sentence at all, to be honest, mate.
Can we take a look at the season points? Thank you. BDS sitting in ninth place in Europe season points after winning the world championship. It's been very rough for Extra Monkey Moon and Seiko so far this season. And the question for the room here is, what is the answer for them to get back in shape? Stumpy, how you feel?
It's gonna sound bad. It's gonna sound real bad. But I've not watched them like recently because they've not really come far enough through a tournament to then.
Oh, the night worse Stumpy's time.
Like they haven't. They're just not impressive. Something's lacking. I think they're doing the classic thing where we see a team do incredibly well. Obviously, World Championships. They were the best team in the world, unbeatable on that day, and then they suffered from that success. They couldn't handle it. I don't know why. I'm not a competitor, but it's just something that we see teams do every now and then, and they just don't do well. We saw them do it again back at during the full major, the first full major, 21-22. They won that one, obviously, versus NRG, and then they went out in the lowers on stage. They got smashed. They got perfect swept by FaZe, if I recall correctly. Like, they just don't do well after winning. And I don't like it. I truly don't get it. I don't know if you guys have more of an opinion than I do, but I'm just baffled by them.
I've got an opinion, Stumpy.
Please, mate.
Well, if we're going to go on TBates' top 25 list that is apparently still relevant today, he has Seiko number 1 and Monkey Moon number 3 in the world TBates. That seems pretty wrong to me right now.
They didn't pull it back up.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, TBates.
This
that?
list
Right
is
now,
still,
right now,
is
right
still
now.
current. Since Alpha's now top 6, and it's still this list is still very relevant in today's whole scheme of things. This is the worst list I've ever seen.
Well, see, problem. No, CJ. I don't know who you messaged to get this back up here. But,
I was not expecting that.
Clearly, they got some collusion going on behind the scenes. But anyways, though, some sabotage. Anyways, the main problem with that, CJ, and now I answer the question wrong with BDS. Seiko hasn't been Seiko. That's the if and end all. That's where the conversation starts, and that's where it should end. Because when Seiko's on, they win. Monkey Moon average. What was Monkey Moon's numbers? Cause I saw Jay Skier and a whole bunch of people tweet at me saying that like BDS didn't perform. Yeah. Monkey Moon ain't that great. Monkey Moon averaged like 530. Monkey Moon averaged like 530 this weekend.
Yeah, he had the best IQ rating.
Ridiculous numbers. And like his numbers are off the charts. Monkey doing what Monkey do. But Seiko ain't been there to support him. Extra, you know what Extra's going to give you? Extra's going to give you that leadership. He's going to give you that poise. He's going to give you the position. He's going to give you the consistency. He's like your Torment. He's like upgraded Torment. Extra's one of the best in the game. We know that. We know what he brings. But it's Seiko. It's the reason they replaced Mark by 8 because they saw what Seiko could do at endpoint. They won the world championship. And ever since then, Seiko hasn't been up there with the Bateras, with the Monkey Moons in terms of performance. So if he could figure that out, if they could figure out how to unlock Seiko again, they're right there. I mean, even losing to Moist, they dropped every game by 1. But they're not dominating. They're not dominating the games where they win like 3-0 or something like that, like they used to. So it's just gonna take it's gonna take an identity shift a little bit and trying to figure out a way to give Seiko more touches, make him comfortable again.
I agree. I don't think we've seen the same Seiko that we've seen on endpoint. Like he's not been the same player on endpoint. So my question is, what does it take for BDS to get Seiko comfortable to the point where he was on endpoint, where he was able to do so much?
Or at Worlds.
He was,
at the World Champion.
Yeah.
Worlds too,
Yeah, he was comfortable at the Worlds. He was comfortable. It just hasn't been. But I think even then, like he was comfortable at Worlds, but he didn't play the same as on endpoint still. He wasn't on the ball all the time. It was a different type of Seiko, but he was efficient. But now, like, y'all remember last year where there was just like the moments when Seiko would go up in the sky, and it's just a fear. It's just a fear. It didn't matter who was on the other side. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, well, okay, here he come. What are you about to do? They that's not there at the moment.
I think it feels like he's on a leash.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Either that.
I like that because I feel like he can't break out from whatever is happening. I always kind of revert to like more of like a mental side for things like this because he has the ability to get that raw talent, but he's got like a leash around his neck. Either he's holding it or something else is keeping him from running full sprint at everything that he wants to do. And I feel like he needs to be like let go. He just needs to be like energized again because on Endpoint and then on BDS, they are vastly different teams, obviously. He was having to do a lot of heavy lifting in that old backpack to get those regional wins. Like he was really carrying, and I feel like he loves being in that role. He loves that pressure, being like, look, it's all on me. I need to thrive. I'm the best player in the world. This is my job. But then at World Championships, he was then still in that mindset. I feel like, yes, I am the best player in the world. Oh my God, I can win this. I'm MVP. This is great. But then there's been that change in that break where then it hasn't returned to him. And I hope that he can find that again. Because like you said, Rollers, like when we saw him up in the air and it was like, what's he got this time? Like, what is he going to do now? And yeah, it's a shame to see. And I hope that my assumption of, something mental happening with him or with that team, because I know Monkey Moon spoke about his struggles before as well, that they have that support where they can help each other out and they can compete again at that level.
He needs to get some advice. He needs to get some advice from Alpha 54 and ask him how he went from so far outside the top 25 5 months ago to one of the best in the world today. That's what he needs to do because Alpha turned it around. I think Seiko can turn it around, but, it's a great comparison right there. Because Alpha was so far outside the top 25 back then. And now look at him. What a great regional. What a great return to form, T-Bates. Would you agree with that?
Anyways, get this graphic off the screen. We gotta keep moving along. Question for the panel right now: does BDS make San Diego?
Oof. No.
Can we bring the points up at all?
Season
we just have winter points.
No,
winter points. Winter points.
Winter
We did skip that one, but we should have it.
No, we put the winter points up.
No, I saw us put the season ones up. This is the winter
we put
ones.
these up too.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed them.
It's
They say
by
you have
no
5.
means out of their reach, obviously. We've only had one. But
But no.
All right. So the question is: are they gonna make San Diego? CJ said no. Stumpy. Okay, there's a no from Stumpy. Dazzrin.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, Raul.
Bro, I've watched them against Oxygen. They look so good.
They look so good.
I don't know if they can keep it consistent because then they get mobbed by Moist. And even
But they didn't get mobbed, bro. They lost 1-goal games.
It's
You act
still
like
a
they're just getting
3-0.
rinsed. But they were losing. Bro, they lost a couple overtimes in that, bro. Come on now. Come on now. You know series have context. All right, yes or no?
It's so tough. I'm gonna say no.
All right, I'm yes. BDS will be there. BDS will be at San Diego. They're making a run.
how?
We're doing it now.
Genuine
How?
question. I'm not having a go. T-Bates, you don't need to get defensive.
I
How?
don't ever get defensive.
I'm so
What do you mean,
intrigued
how?
because I want to believe.
Wait, you see the flashes of the greatness that they had. Like when they beat Oxygen, like you're like, oh yeah, here we go. And then they were going up against Moist. Probably a lot of people thought they're gonna be Moist, and then they just end up losing. It's just little moments for them. Monkey Moon's still playing exceptional. Extra still playing really good. They need Seiko to be really good again as well, and that's all it takes. Like when you look at the rankings, can they be German Amigos like when they're on? Yeah, most definitely. Liquid, yeah, most definitely. Like the people where you pause and say, okay, when BDS are on, who actually has a chance? It would be KC, and it may be Oxygen. So all it takes is for them to figure it out, and I think they'll be a little more confident. Maybe being in having to play in the open or wherever they got playing or the close this time around, get them going a little bit earlier. Yeah, exactly. Maybe sometimes you got to go back down to get back up, and that's exactly what they need. I think they're gonna be there. I think they're still a top 5 team in EU. Like if they don't do it this time, it's just pure underperformance. There's no other excuse. Like I can only name off 2 teams on paper that are even comparable to them. Like they're expected to make it.
I think it's already underperformance though. Like,
No, it already is. But this will just be
Yeah,
like
okay.
now you like. I think people were putting up like the alarms beforehand. I was like, nah, you can see another split. After this, now you got the siren on. You got the siren on. You calling the fire department, trying to figure out what's going on, trying to put out the fire. Who's got to go? Yada bing, yada boom.
Yeah, really interested to see if BDS can bring it back. All three of those players are very great players, all put onto the same team. Some would even say they are a super team. But I am not going to talk about that at all. I am going to leave it to the two, TBates and Stumpy, to discuss this super team mumbo jumbo. CJ, since I'm taking a break, can you moderate for me? Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm going with you, Des.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just chill out. Let's just chill. You see the question, are super teams good for Rocket League? We got a live rematch from the Twitter between TBates and Stumpy. We'll let y'all get into it.
Well,
oh dear.
it feels really good to be here, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, this is the hot. If there's a topic that's hot, this is just sizzling. This is you don't want to touch this one, and I'm staying out of this one between these two gentlemen right here because the topic, as Daz said, a super team's good for Rocket League. If you haven't been on Twitter, get yourself on there and check out these two because it's about to get hot. I don't know who I'm going to start with. There's a couple of very polar opposite opinions right now going on with this
I would
debate.
like to start
We got some tweets.
with a
We got some
question.
tweets.
Yeah,
I'd like to start with just one question,
tweets up.
just quickly before we get into. Okay.
Okay, no,
I've
you
got-
go on something. Just give us quickly. What do you got before?
My question. Oh, that
Alex,
looks
it's
brilliant.
cropped.
That looks
Take
so.
it off.
Oh.
Take it
First
off.
touch production is
I'm
world
good.
class.
NA
lad.
production bad. Go
Right.
back to the camera.
Pretend we
I
can't
would-
see
I would
that.
like-
Stumpy, what do you got?
Go back to the camera.
Whoa.
Well, look, I was saying about Daniel and Beast Mode in Dazrin's brilliant double vision tournament, right? And I said, please, for the actual love of God, free these two players and get them on the same team. Jesus Christ, North America, you're sitting on a gold mine here. To which T-Bates rebutted.
Why are you advocating for super teams?
To which I rebutted.
doing a play.
Why do you not want players to play alongside the best teammates possible? The aim is to win thumbs up emoji.
And then I said, at the expense of competition. Sounds absolutely lovely.
Oh, you've ad-libbed there a little bit with the absolutely, but we'll go with it. I would
Am I
like to
gonna
just
reread this the whole entire time?
No, this is boring now. I just want to.
Yeah.
I want to define something quickly, T-Bates, just so we're fully on the same page here. How do we define a super team? That's the question. That's the first question.
Oh, there we go. So throw the cameras back up. Throw the cameras back up. So a super team is a team that has already been successful. So BDS had already been successful. 2/3 of the roster had already been successful. And then you went and you add arguably at that time the best player in the world or a minimum top 5 player in the world. And then at that point, they're expected to win everything. Like, it doesn't matter who you're talking to, they're expected to win. And it takes out, like after Seiko joined BDS, and people have been trying to reframe this history for some reason, like, Queso just played so well at LA, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter because everybody said BDS, they got it. They're going to win. They automatically say, oh, that's world champions. Everybody else might as well just stop playing. And it was serious. It wasn't like some phase thing where like people are like, oh, phase got stepped. Oh, no. Like people are hyping up. This is like different. Like everybody's picking them. Everybody's picking this team to win. It doesn't matter what region you are. BDS was that guy. G2 was the only team where you hear from some people, mainly me, who be screaming saying, no, man, you can't fall for the BDS trap. So that's a super team. It's like for my basketball people out there, when Golden State went 73-9 and they picked up Kevin Durantula. And then at that point, the NBA was ruined for the next about 3 years. Everybody knew as long as Golden State stayed healthy, they were going to win. And that's exactly what they did.
So I would like to say, definition of a super team, in my eyes, is it's the three most individual, or three of the top individually talented players in a region who form a team with that aim to win everything. That's the crux of it, to win everything. We are the best three. We are therefore the best team, right? Right?
I guess that'd be another form of super team in a way, yeah.
Okay, right. So then I was then thinking about what are historic Rocket League super teams? Because whenever you say that you think, okay, like this team is just going to win. BDS were that example, like they, by the way, as far as I'm concerned, when they formed, because we're talking about the formation of a team, when they formed, they were not a super team. BDS with Mark, Monkey, and Extra were not a super team. However, they managed to then come together and win everything, right? But that's not a super team in my eyes.
That's not a super team. Exactly. That's just a great team.
Yeah, that's just a brilliant team. They work
Yep,
together.
okay, we're
they're
on the same
perfect
page right
teammates
there.
for each other.
Yep.
I think we have only ever had 3 actual super
Okay,
teams.
you say 3. Okay, who are the other 2 outside of BDS?
So I've not got BDS as my actual super team, not even the Monkey Extra
No, I'm
Seiko.
talking about what?
I do not have them as a super team because they had already. Because this is where our definitions changed. Because you were saying that they had to that you wanted them to achieve something, and then they bring on another player.
Well, yeah, you already had. Well, yeah, I forgot. I forgot to also add in that Monkey Moon was still like
that's an
arguably the best.
attempted super team.
Attempt.
I think there are attempts at super teams. Okay, so I have 3 bits in this. I have actual, attempts, and arguable, but not actual super teams. Flip side. Back in the day, Marky, Cox, and Mike. That is a super team. That was locked in. They were the 3 best players. That's a super team, right?
Okay, you went prehistoric. Okay.
Yes, because Rocket League is quite old at this point.
Sure,
Cosmic
I wasn't even
Aftershock.
born back then.
Back in the day,
Cosmic
Kronovi, Junior,
Aftershock.
Gibbs. That is a super team. Yes, yes. That is a super team.
Okay,
CJ,
but before we just get too far down this rabbit hole of 2015.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like I hear. Yeah,
are we? Is
I have another one.
Is the topic what super teams are, or are they good for the game?
No, are they good for the game?
I just want to make sure we were through with these definitions because I want to make sure we're on that same page so we're not arguing semantics.
Okay.
One of the super team,
as
I'm sure you've guessed, is Gale Force Dig. Like, they were the 3 best players, pop them on a team, win all the things.
No.
That's another super team.
That's not a super team. That's a brilliant team.
That's not a super team.
No, because nobody, when they formed, thought they were just going to win everything. Like, that's the difference.
They were 3 of the best players in Europe that then formed a team and then won.
But they weren't like the perennial, like 99% of people or like 90% of people are going to vote for them to win.
They really were.
They were not a super team. They played
really were a super team.
CJ, when that team formed, did you just say, oh, they got season 4? Turbo was a sub playing with the best player in the world, Devo.
No, I don't think there was it was locked, but they quickly made themselves known as of how good they were.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they got there exactly, but the main point is they weren't when they formed, which is why I think people get confused when and that's why I say super teams are bad because that takes away from the excitement of the game.
No,
Here we go. Let's get into it. Now we're
viscerally
talking.
with you on that. How is having sorry, I've interrupted really hard here. I do apologize.
I don't care about you
how is
interrupting. Go
having
ahead.
So I can come back at you. Players on a team. How is that boring? Yes, short term. You're looking at them. You're looking at a tournament back in the day with BDS, and you're like, fair play, BDS win it. But it's so fun watching them just smash people about. Watching them, they lose a game. You're like, oh, they're starting to bleed. The gods are bleeding. Is this going to be the time? And you're
a
invested.
super team though. The first iteration of BDS wasn't a super team. That was a great team.
That's one of their attempted super teams. That if you're arguing that, I'm going with your thought of that.
What, Mark or Seiko?
Which one are you saying? Are you saying Mark or Seiko?
The Mark one wasn't a super team. That was just a brilliant team. They're not a super team.
Okay, that's just a brilliant team. Okay, fine.
Exactly.
But then with Seiko then?
With Seiko, they won. I mean, they won everything besides London.
But watching theoretically, the best team in a region of the 3 best players.
Let me provide the platform, all right? Hypothetically, we get Daniel Beast Mode First Killer on a team. Is that good for Rocket League? Go. Yes, go.
Yes. In literally every single sense of the word.
How?
Because, right, I've got a few things here. Short term, right, you get to see them just do bonkers plays. They feel comfortable. They are the best team in that region if we're going off that. And then you're saying, oh my God, what are they going to do next? You tune in. You want to see what they do. And then they don't do well. Well, what's going wrong here? Why are they not doing as well as we thought? Well, that's still so fun to watch. If they're thriving, it's great. If they're not thriving, there's questions then to be raised about them. Teams are going to be beaten by that super team frequently. Therefore, they then get better to then try and beat that super team. They then learn, they then understand, okay, this is what they're doing well. With BDS, you looked at, how they were doing rotationally, whatever it was. If you're able to then learn from them, it makes the region better. Any player or team who is just on top, they are the best. You tune in for those matches. In any sport, okay, Ronaldo's playing, Messi's playing, oh, I'm watching that, they're playing, The best teams in the world fighting out World Cup, that gets incredible viewership because they are the best teams. You can argue that some of the previous World Cup teams are super teams. You can say that as well in Rocket League. It only benefits the teams that are below anybody who is number one. You have the super team. You say first killer beast mode Daniel. That's the team that I really want to see generally. If you have teams that are playing them, they get better, the region improves. Branding. Think of the marketing that you've got behind having, say, FaZe has picked up the other two. Oh, how many people are they bringing in saying, we just have the best team in the world. They are just the greatest. Star power sells. If they are all on the same team, they are thriving. They're getting content out of it. You know, they can grow their brand of being, we're really cocky. We're saying, right, we are just the best. We're going to do this. We are going to win. We're going to smash it. We're going to destroy them. Okay.
Content.
They can also lean away from. Oh, sorry, it's Dan's talking.
No, I'm just ad-libbing.
Content.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. Just content. So much content about being the best players in the world, right? And then just having somebody at the top, a target on their back. Do you remember how good it felt to watch Dignitas lose in Season 6 World Championships? They got slapped about by Cloud9. They were near unbeatable. They were unbeaten from the end of Season 5 all the way through to the end of Season 6. That's insane. And then Cloud9 just dominated them. It was so fun to watch that team get torn apart. That is why super teams are good.
Okay, let me summarize Stumpy's points from my end. Great branding, great content, target on their back. Everyone's tuning in to watch them. Everyone's waiting to see them get beat, and it's going to elevate the region. Let's move it over now to the chef who's just been cooking. He's been writing some things down while Stumpy's been talking.
I've been writing some things down. I'm trying to figure out Stumpy's argument. First off, we're gonna start with Daniel Beast Mode first killer. That's the hypothetical on the table. Daniel Beast Mode first killer, so that automatically makes V1 irrelevant. And that makes SSG irrelevant. That's two teams out the way that you don't even care about no more if you're a fan of them, because they're not going to win because you took their best players. Their best players are off. You can't just replace Daniel and Beast Mode. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. They ain't got nobody else as good at them out there. That's the reason they get paid the big bucks. That's number one. So two teams are already obsolete in the overall competition and the run for the world championship and the run to even become the best team in North America. You remove two teams out the way. That you automatically make that team, that super team, the better of everybody else. So then that makes the G2 chance of winning, that decreases. That makes Gen G chance of winning, that decreases. The competition itself, especially in the short term, just dissipates immediately. If that team pans out, there's no competition there. We got to keep that into perspective. If we're a fan of Rocket League, do you just want to see one team dominate the whole entire time? Or do you want to see teams that actually have some parity? Do you want to see teams that can go against each other? Do you want to have multiple teams? Is everybody just supposed to be a fan of the Daniel Beast Mode first killer team? Because you can't be a fan of V1. No, they're not relevant. Not. You can't be a fan of SSG. They're not relevant anymore. And so, that happens. And in the grand scheme, and in the long term, you say it makes the regions get better. I disagree. And this current state of Rocket League is only going to make it to where other teams are going to consolidate their talent to try to match those teams. So then it takes like a Gen G, for example. Say Gen G can't compete anymore at that level. So then they replace one of their players. Then they add Atomic. So they take somebody from G2. They take somebody from G2. Then you got two teams in North America that can really compete for the World Championship and also can really compete in general. They're just going to go back and forth. You've made it to where NA went from a 6-team, 17 region to a 2-team region. That's boring. That's boring. It's like everybody's not just gonna be fans of those two teams. It's that, especially at this stage of Rocket League.
No, they're not. Absolutely, they're not.
Can I jump in?
There's nobody you can root for.
I've heard a couple of opinions here. I'd like to just bring a new perspective in for you, T-Bates, that Stumpy hasn't quite mentioned. Now, when I think about super teams, right, in the moment, yeah, it's not as exciting because everyone would rather, everyone can beat anyone can win that LAN, anyone can win that regional. But when I'm looking back in 5-10 years' time, you're not thinking about, how good was that year when anyone could beat anyone? You're thinking about the super teams. You're thinking about in other sports. You're thinking about the Bulls. You're thinking about these guys that went on this crazy run and how good it was. You're not remembering those years where there was no superstar team. There was no one dominant
and you mentioned
team.
the Bulls. You mentioned the Bulls. Let me hop in. You mentioned the Bulls. The reason Michael Jeffrey Jordan is so great is because people can remember that he had to go beat Shaq and Penny. Shaq and Penny wasn't on his team. He had to go beat Hakeem. He had to go beat Magic. He had to go beat all these players, all these great players. They all weren't on his team. If everybody's just on one team, of course the Bulls are going to win. Congratulations, you handled business. There was the road to get there, the trials and tribulations. He had to overcome other competition to become the best of the best. That's context, and it matters. When you just have them on the same team, the championship doesn't mean as much. Of course you're going to win. You got all the best players.
But
it is also. Can I just say one thing to that final point? Just that real final point. It's a competition, isn't it? Aren't you trying to win?
I'm talking about from the fan perspective. From a player perspective, of course. If I can go team with two other people I think are the best players in the world, I'm going to do it. Like no competition.
Yeah, okay, absolutely.
As a player perspective, super teams are great. The players love that. I just want to win. But as like a fan, as a viewer of the game. That's what I'm talking about. Are they good for Rocket League?
The best team play, and you want to see them lose. You want to see a team finally work up and beat them. If you know you've got say 4 or 5 teams, whatever, at the top, or say 6. You mentioned 6 earlier. If you have 6 teams at the top, and anyone can win on the day, okay, yeah, those pockets of fans, they're going to be happy when their team wins, when their team gets to a grand finals, whatever it ends up being, right? But then if you have that one team, and your team has the chance to beat First Killer, Dan, and B-Mode, and then the chance that they do it, or if they take game 1, oh my god, okay, my heart's going. They're going to take, okay, oh my god,
and then they get swept. Game 2. They get reversed. They get Spaceman swept.
But you have that excitement, and then the chance that then they do it. No super team lasts forever, and also no super team that is formed. They don't. There is no guarantee that a super team that forms, which I can continue to argue, that phase roster of First Killer, Sip, AJ, that was an attempted super team. That didn't work. You said on Twitter, just hand Dan and B-Mode the trophy. Don't work like that. It just doesn't work like that.
It does. It does. Daniel's that guy. Daniel's that guy.
And Daniel needs better team.
Regardless,
Daniel's that guy.
Daniel to have better team. I used to watch Daniel thrive.
Daniel has not played with somebody like Beast Mode. You see, do you put Daniel and Beast Mode on the same team, man? I'm be honest, bro.
It would be amazing.
Look, regardless,
it'd be amazing for them.
Regardless of how the team forms, or if it was formed to be a super team, or if it's a BDS, RLCS, if it's whatever, if it's just a team that starts dominating, you can't argue that it's not good for the game when you look historically at what it does for other sports, what it's done for us with season 4, 5, 6, when you look at Dignitas. It promotes the game. Other people outside Rocket League, if you've got someone that you want to come watch, you'll be like, hey, tune into this team. This team has won the last 6 things. They're unbeatable. They're so good. And I understand that in the moment
when Rocket League, watch them.
When you're in the league, you're thinking, when you're playing, you want anyone to be able to beat anyone. You want to have it exciting. You might think that this super team, there's going to be boring games where they're going to smash teams. But when you look at it in the grand scheme of things, not just individual games, individual tournaments, like you'd look back at that period of time as one of the best ever. Like you look at golf, you look at Tiger Woods. Imagine if golf, just every tournament had a different winner every single time. It wouldn't be as big as it was today.
It's not a super team. I'm just better than you.
Because of Lewis Hamilton. Think how many people brought over to golf because of Tiger Woods.
Those are individuals.
And I imagine there's also a basketball analogy that I could make.
It's the same NBA. It's like the Warriors. Like that, you build a fan base off that as well, and you grow the game as well with those teams.
I hate the Warriors argument. The only reason the NBA was relevant for those years is because LeBron James, a.k.a. arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, existed, and he went against them. Because if LeBron James didn't exist, it was boring. It was boring because you knew the Warriors were going to win. But you still knew they were going to beat LeBron too, but you're like, oh, they got a chance because of LeBron on the other side.
But there's always going to be that, and as we said, those teams aren't going to be dominant forever. It might be a longer period of time or a shorter period of time. But there's always it's not going to be LeBron, but there's always going to be a team coming up. Like everyone's going to, when you've got a target on your back, eventually you're going to get beat. The same with Dignitas when Cloud9 took them down. Cloud9 came out of nowhere.
That's one of the best moments.
And
that's one of the best moments.
And that's what I look back as one of the best world champs ever, because it was this presence that Dignitas had about them, of this super team, these guys that regardless of whether they formed as a super team, when they probably didn't, you can say they weren't, they became a team that was unstoppable. They became that, that super unstoppable team. and they had this presence at every land that every team felt like they just couldn't play.
Well, that's different, though.
We
like
chanted the Imperial
that's
March when they
I
walked
like
out
that.
because they were so
I just don't like
dominant.
the formation. I like it when teams become like ridiculously good, like Moist.
Okay,
like I wish Moist stayed. I don't like when teams form.
But you were
just
saying
to, like,
no competition is boring, which is what Dignitas, they didn't have competition for so long. Which is,
yeah, they did. NOG should have beat them. They weren't unbeatable. They should have lost multiple times. They kept escaping with W's. It's kind of like how Brady kept escaping.
But then you look at the dub. You look at the dub at the end.
I know you look at the dub, but it's not like they were dominating. This Daniel Beastmo team, though, with first killer? Daniel Beastmo first killer? That's 4-0.
It's not like they were dominating.
They would win series.
It's not
They
like
would go game 5.
Were dominating.
They would go 7-0 in such a series.
I'm going to give
They
you
were
guys.
unbeaten for an entire season till the grand finals of the next season.
Look, we can't be here all day. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get whoever's a moderator in chat. Can we get a poll up, please? Can we get who?
Oh, I can do that.
Oh, there we go. Who won this argument? Actually, just are super teams good for Rocket League? Yes or no? And I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds each. Stumpy, you can start. T-Bates, you can finish while the poll goes up. Go.
So, super teams are good for Rocket League because they bring in fans. As CJ said, the fact that you've got people, you can say, watch BDS, they play unbelievable Rocket League. Watch FaZe Clan, they play unbelievable Rocket League. That brings in people to watch our esport. That is inherently good for the esport. It allows people to have a team to follow as, oh my God, when are they going to get beat? When are they going to just keep winning this? And also, anybody who leaves their current teams, i.e. down or a beast mode, that then gives opportunities to players to then fill in those gaps, and then they can then get even better. It builds up a region, has a target on their back, and it allows Rocket League to grow, get better, and it allows your team, the best team, to have the best chance of winning.
Stumpy, you're dominating the poll. T-Bates, quick, go. Win them back. Win them back.
I'm not winning all these people who don't know how to listen to common logic. Super teams are bad for Rocket League simply their fact because all the V1 chats and V1 fans in the chat, your team doesn't exist anymore. SSG, your team doesn't exist anymore. We shouldn't all have to root for 2 teams. We should have multiple options. And if you just have one or 2 super teams, that's what everybody's going back from. I like seeing competition. I don't like going into regionals and just expecting a single team to win. And just saying like, oh, there's a chance, that 1% chance of that team being knocked off. No, that's not fun to me. I like having a little bit of parity.
Well, look, there's... that was a beautiful debate, and I think that you two are.
That was a lot of fun.
You guys are made for this, and but I think at the end of the day, looking at the poll, unless something crazy happens, the consensus 78% currently say yes. Super teams are good for Rocket League, so congratulations, Stumpy.
Thank you very much, chat.
To my left,
chat.
to my. Yes,
I knew it was going to be like that. I knew it'd be like that.
Everybody will come around. Everybody will come around eventually.
There we go. There we go.
81%.
Why is no selected? What's going on?
Why they vote
Daz no. But anyway, we're going to be moving
me.
on now, and I think that myself and Stumpy, we're going to be making way for some CRL chat. We're going to bring some beautiful people in.
Buddy.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
Stumpy and CJ, thank you so much. You guys are absolutely phenomenal, and it's always a pleasure having you guys on the show.
Thank you, boys.
Love you,
Thanks
First
for having
Touch.
us.
Cheers, boys. Love you, T-Bates.
Love you, Stumpy.
Bye, CJ.
Toodaloo. Hey, we're back.
Oh snap! Wait,
You guys aren't supposed to be back. Well, Roll isn't. Roll, you're supposed to disappear.
wait. I'm gone, bro. I was even muted. Like, Ben, take me out.
All right, roll. Toodaloo. We're talking about some CRL right now. Listen, we're going to bring in some more special guests here. We have Vodible and BassFromThePast coming in, and I think we're still.
Wait, am I still here, bro? Wait, take me
Wait,
out.
we're still waiting on them to get set up. Don't hold that, or maybe hold that. I don't know. We got to figure that out. If they're good, bring them in. If they're not, don't.
It's not working. I'm just holding a pose. I'm waiting to disappear.
Okay. We gotta wait
Oh,
because people ain't set up. So
we
while
can
we
talk about how T-Bates just got destroyed on that team segment. 81 Bates? 81,
Okay.
yes.
Was it 81? The final vote was 70.
Yeah.
The
81
final
to
vote was
19.
70.
Wait, is Bates frozen? I think
No.
Bates is frozen too.
He's just holding that pose. He's holding that
Nah,
wall.
he's not. Oh my gosh, no, he's nice, bro. He's so nice, bro. I thought Bates was frozen.
Yeah, no, he held it well.
Bro, it's like 20 degrees over here. I was like, dang, Bates got caught in the storm.
Nah, bro, I'm good, bro. Listen, man, chat, y'all are delusional. Y'all are delusional, chat. I don't know what else to tell you. Y'all like super teams. Y'all just want to see Daniel B. Smoke. You want to see a team dominate. Listen, that's good for you. Me, I don't want to see it.
I just want fans to not have to buy different jerseys every 3 months.
That's another thing, too. I want consistency.
That's all I want.
Michael Jordan was great because he stayed on the Bulls the whole time.
That's right. Now, Raul, you can get your toodaloo ready. We got everybody set up. 1, 2, toodaloo. We're gonna bring in Bass and Vodible. Finally, gentlemen. Thank you. We got you on the show. Finally, it's great to see you, Bass. Vodible, how you doing?
Fantastic. Doing good.
That's great. That's absolutely great. Now you know what we're here for. We're here to talk about.
I feel like they need to introduce themselves a little bit so people at home, they don't know them.
I mean, yeah. Let's start with Bass. Bass, you go first and Vodible.
Hello, Bass. I cast Rocket League. I'm part of the RLCS APAC team as well as the CRL team for the B stream. You guys might have seen me on the World Championship Day 1. And, well, first time appearance on here as well.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, I'm Nick, or Vodible. I've been the host of the B stream since it started in 2019.
What B stream?
The CRL B stream specifically.
There you go.
There. TBates, the host of the A stream. Good look out there. But it's been great to see the way that Collegiate Rocket League has grown since it started, I think, in 2017 or 15? It was been around for such a long time, but now it's great to be here to talk about it too.
There you go.
And you see the topic on the screen. We're getting another Columbia College.
Oh, man.
Is it a CC versus NU finals? Listen, CRL starts tonight. We're getting set up. We're getting locked in. We're gonna throw the hot questions at you. I'm gonna go to you first.
Okay.
The question.
Oh, the question. Oh, okay. I got you. See, the thing is, it's not really a question because it's just going to be reality. It is going to be Columbia College versus Northwood, mainly for the main season, not the World Championships, because, again, we have so many different regions that are getting involved. We got North America. We got Europe as well. Hopefully they do better than just getting knocked out in the first round this go-around, but we'll have to see. But regardless, Columbia College, they're going to be there. And so is Northwood Blue, not Northwood White. They got 2 Northwood teams, so they have 2 chances, but I don't think anyone is going to contest these 2 rosters.
Even without JD?
Season.
Even without
JD? Even without JD last season to qualify for the CRO World Championships, they went undefeated during league play, didn't lose to a single team, 15 matches in a row, won, all of them in the Western Conference. So I think they're going to be there.
Okay. You think CC Northwood Blue are the defending world champions. For those y'all don't know, collegiate world champions, I guess that's what you call them. And I guess that's what you call it. And then CC Columbia College, they are defending national champions from the fall 2022 season. Bass, you had some absolutely terrible opinions yesterday on your podcast. But we don't need to get into those just yet. I didn't know to answer this question. CC Northwood final, yes or no? I think I already know where you're going.
No, not a chance. Not a chance at all.
It's all East final for you.
Probably all East final. Yeah, I would say that much. I just don't listen, I have more faith in Northwood here than I probably do Columbia pretty much at all. Again, without JD, I just don't see this team having the same success. JD was not their carry during playoffs last semester, but dude, he was the best player on their team in the finals, by far.
Wait, so what's your final?
Probably Fisher versus Northwood. I feel like
so
again, everybody slept on Fisher. Everyone has slept on Fisher.
You see, did we sleep on him? I don't know if we slept on because we didn't. They ain't make it.
Speaking of super teams,
I feel like it was you had the pieces together, but I saw it. It was just something about it. I was like,
I think it's it's a learning curve. I think a lot of people come into CRO and they go, oh, we put some pros on a team. Obviously, we're gonna win it all, and then they don't recognize the fact that you kind of have to live up to the level of the competition. So for a lot of the people that were on Fisher, I just kind of feel like they didn't put in the right expectations and then just kind of got trampled on in playoffs.
Are you implying that CRL is not a Champion 3 level league?
It's crazy to think about, I know.
Are you implying that there's actual good people? I would have never known that. I would have never known that. Damar, you avoided the question.
No. I was just letting them answer. So if JD's not playing, who's playing in JD's place?
Flippy, you already know. It's a 3 seeds.
If it's a 3 season, I'm getting it right back. We're going back to back then. Here we go. Listen, JD stepped up. He fell in the role. But you can't tell me the 3 seeds not finna come in and still shut it down. That is just bound to happen. Why are we looking at this? Get it off the screen.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Look at him.
I was about to say, look
You
at
got Cryptic, you got Cam. Look at him. They still got two of them. Cryptic.
Boom. They already got the Kim. The Kim is there. So, yeah, it's unfortunate JD's not playing for the team because JD, I mean, he was balling when they needed him to ball. But guess what? It was the 3 C's before it was the 2 C's in JD. You got to remember what got him there in the first place.
I don't know. I'm not seeing JD in any of these highlights right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
The 2 C's working.
Yeah, okay. Okay, sure.
Bass. Okay, Bass.
Sure, he wasn't in any of these highlights. Can you guys remind me of any of the highlights of Colombia at the World Championship last year, though, when they actually had to have some ice and literally had
crazy.
zero?
That's really crazy.
Whoa. It's crazy that you mentioned that because one, that was almost a year ago now. So they've gotten older. They had to get the land experience, and all I see is Cam doing it.
They only got better with
Look
JD.
at Cam. I didn't see JD in any of these highlights. Cryptic out to Buddy. Terrible save. Cam put it home. Lion Blaze hit the ball.
So talk a little bit about Lion Blaze here too. This is the first time he has lost with this roster. They went undefeated in like championship events throughout an entire year of collegiate Rocket League competition. Not just CRL, but also other events that have been going on in the meantime. Multiple champions back to back to back. Now he's back with a new roster in RLCS, and they're doing well. They made the regional. Now they're also looking to do crazy results here, get back-to-back victories for the first time of any team at the World Championship. And I feel like he's hungry too. Columbia College, yeah, they're probably going to be there, but nobody's going to beat Northwood this time.
No one's going to beat Northwood this time.
Right.
Okay. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I think Northwood's beatable. They can bleed. We saw them bleed
lost
last
to Northwood last semester. Like quite
True,
literally lost
but
to
in
Northwood.
championships,
Exactly.
the first time that they have was against Columbia College with JD. They don't have JD this time, so
They
that
took
is
him game
something.
7.
They took him in game 7. That's true.
With Cosmic Flippy.
But also,
That's right.
Lion Blaze
That
had a
was
lot
almost a
on
year
his
ago.
mind with all the stuff going on with his former
No
roster.
excuses.
RLCS.
Everybody's got a lie on their
What's
mind.
going on,
Everybody's got a lie
man?
on their mind. They're all college students. They all got things going on. They're trying to manage a whole bunch of things, a whole plethora. And my answer to the question, of course, it's going to be CC Northwood. You already know. It's always in the cards. It's always in the cards. It doesn't matter how they're going to get there. And so, like, this isn't a question on the screen, but I wanted to ask it. So the top 3, I think, because like Bass, I already know where you're going. The top. I want to know, like, what are the top 3 teams from each conference going to be?
Oh man.
Conference going to be. I'll go first. I'll go West. I think that CC, of course, that's number 1 locked in. I think Boise got Big Dirt though.
Yeah.
And then I think that UTA, Samba's last ride.
No way.
Versus last ride. I think they're gonna finish top 3. I think they're gonna finish
Really?
top three in the West. I think those are your top 3 teams. Regular season. They're gonna finish top 3. That's your regular season. Top 3 in the West.
I don't think so. I mean, Bass, do you want to take this one? You're more familiar with the West a little bit too.
Yeah, unfortunately, born and raised here, you start to kind of, just expect every year the West to just fall apart at some point. Legitimately, though, in my opinion, I actually agree with TBates on this one. I actually do think UTA...
What? That's not what you said yesterday. That's not what you said yesterday.
Yeah, and I will admit that. I will admit that because I can actually have other people sway my opinions and understand that there's good info being thrown at me. I recognize that UTA is... I get it. UTA have a reemergence, man. They need to because it's their last hurrah, it's their last shot. I still don't agree though with Boise. I think Boise is one of these things where they came in, nobody really knew what they were going to be. No one expected Durtho to be like the absolute GOAT on that team, and they just kind of underestimated them. Now that people know Boise's an actual threat, they're going to take them a lot more seriously. And I mean, again, it also goes to show you, where was Boise in playoffs? Like, they barely showed up in playoffs. Like, it's one of these things where once teams actually played against them at a competent level.
Is that coming from experience, T-Bates?
Yeah, it happens, huh?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't see Boise being the top 3. I think they could be very close, but I see them getting replaced by, again, I'm going to stick to this until I'm proven wrong, and I get it if I am wrong. I think Borregos is going to be something special. I truly do think that
Borregos, for those who don't know, give a little context about Borregos.
I'll give you a little bit about Borregos. Borregos are the first ever team from Mexico to qualify for CRL. They took down Mizzou Gold, who didn't even make CRL this time, and it's been a staple in league play since it has started. So they are a team to look out for, but I don't think they're going to be a top 3 team.
Dude, everyone else on West got a little bit weaker. That's the main issue that I have for me right now. You look at, again, I would put UNLV in my top 3. You guys got to prove it to me.
No Tuv.
Exactly. No Tuv. How they, no disrespect to Wheat, but you got big shoes to fill when Tuv literally got the team to go undefeated through the regular season last season. That's crazy to think about when you have CC who win the whole thing and they still beat them in the regular semester.
Okay.
Go
Go ahead, Nick.
My top three this
gotta
time.
go quick.
I'm going along with Columbia College, Boise State as well. But instead of UTA, I'm going UTD every time they have faced off against each other. UTD have made it. They've been at the top of West League play for such a long time. But have not actually made it into the main events themselves. So if they actually have that chance this go around, they're going to prove it. They've been a roster for such a long time as well. UTA, they are so flip-floppy in league play, and I feel like that's going to be a detriment to them.
How are you saying UTA is flip-floppy when you just mentioned Dallas? I forgot that was a team in the West. What are you talking about? What?
All right, DeMar, give us the top three in the West. Then we'll go East real fast.
All right, CC, Boise. That last one was a little tricky. I'll go UNLV.
That's fair.
Oh.
They went undefeated.
All right, East, I'm going to go with Northwood, Fisher, and then it's between Penn State and...
Penn State lost last night.
They did.
They did?
Yeah.
All right, good. That answers my question. Give me West Virginia then. Give me West Virginia. I think West Virginia does a little bit of damage this time around. I think they stopped throwing series and playing in Mercs. All right, go ahead, Nick. Quick.
Okay. Northwood, Fisher, of course, and I think Akron Gold are going to do pretty good this time.
Ooh,
They also
yeah.
lost last night, to be fair.
That's true.
Okay,
That's true.
Bass, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sticking. So Fisher, Northwood, and then I got listen, everybody's going to keep on absolutely hounding me for this one. I still think IRSC is one of the best teams in
They
the
lost
East
last
here.
night,
Okay.
too, to the
They
were
lost last night. I'm aware.
15th.
I'm aware that they lost. I understand that. They also started off the season very poorly last semester and then picked it back around and finished third overall. Like that.
That's
Well, the difference between that, just add some context real fast, is they played their hardest competition early on. And already they're losing against their easier competition. It doesn't bode well for them. DeMar, go ahead. East.
Northwood, Fisher, and what was the third one? The third one, it's not that tough.
Just say Tristan, bro. He's gonna go with Tristan.
Akron Blue.
Okay.
Give me Tristan.
Akron Gold beat Akron Blue to qualify.
We gotta
Akron
go,
Gold
bro.
already beat them,
Come on, we
and
gotta
they've
go.
already lost once in season
We gotta go,
play.
bro.
That doesn't matter. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, it's the first game. Like, come on, it's a league play. Hello?
That's fair.
Anyways, listen. As you guys clearly tell, CRL's already been underway. Match has been going on, and match will continue to go on as the spring 2023 season continues on. So be sure to keep it locked in. Be sure to follow Bass and Vodible too. They're going to be covering this stuff, and they have great opinions. Sometimes the questionable takes. Sometimes the takes are questionable, as you can see on this show. But that's why you want to keep it locked in, because they're all
Matches tonight.
very entertaining.
There's matches tonight on the College Cardball stream.
Yep.
I don't know what time it starts.
Twitch.tv/College
7 or 8?
Cardball.
8 Eastern time, I'm
7
guessing.
Eastern, I believe.
7:30.
That's when the pre-show is.
7:30 Eastern. That's when those matches happen. And of course, we're gonna have the Zero again on the A stream on this stream, Rock League stream tomorrow, starting at 7:30 as well. And then we got the big NA and the likes happening this weekend. Tomorrow.
That's right. So, as you guys know, we didn't get to North America this week or during this show, but of course, no matter what, we're gonna get to it next time around. We might even cover it in the meantime. So be sure to keep it locked in at First Touch RL on Twitter, First Touch on YouTube as well. These vibes are gonna get uploaded right afterwards. Make sure to get the sub count on. If we hit a sub goal, which we are looking for, maybe we even get something special for you guys. You never know.
That's news to me.
That is news to you. I just. Let me work. Anyways, that is going to be it for First Touch this week. It was a very special show. Thank you, of course, Bass and Vodible, for joining us today. Again, we really appreciate you guys coming on, as well as Stumpy and CJCJ. Of course, always a pleasure to have those guys on as well. And Roll This too. He's somewhere around here. But that being said, on behalf of all of the staff working behind the scenes, as well as Psyonix for allowing us to run the show on their network, and of course, you guys all watching at home, whether it's the VOD or live, we thank you guys so much for your continued support. It is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for watching First Touch. Black History Month continue. The season of RLCS will continue. CRL's just getting started. So it's a lot of Rocket League to keep track on. So you make sure you keep it locked here on twitch.tv/Rocket League. That being said, that's going to be it for First Touch this week. We'll see you next week. 1, 2, toodaloo. Take care.